guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at creepy recordings left by missing people. I always hate doing these videos because first of all, it's real, and second of all, it's the fact that these people are literally missing.
Tiffany Witten. By the summer of 2013, Tiffany Witten was in a tough spot. She was recently fired from IHOP for stealing and her drug use.
It's quite sad, isn't it, how drugs can really affect someone's life. I watch a lot of missing persons, crime stuff, usually like dramas, but also some real life ones. And whenever it comes to like drug addicts, people usually think, oh, they're a way to get more of whatever they're on, or they went to like a different area. They never really think that like the person could actually be abducted.
In the very early morning of September 13th, 2013, Witten arrived at a Walmart and was closely observed by security officers. They believed she was under the influence and stealing various items of clothing.
Okay, so the stealing isn't good, but if she's under the influence, that means that, you know, she could possibly be at risk. I mean, it says right here, is it 2:47 a.m.? So 2 a.m. You know, being off your head at 2 a.m. in a parking lot, that's not good, is it?
They eventually confronted her at the exit, and this confrontation was captured by security cameras. The footage depicts Witten tossing away her handbag and sandals and fleeing out the door. This was the last anyone has seen of her.
See, that's so freaky, isn't it? Because, you know, what actually happened? What happened? You know, like she disappeared. She ran out at 2 a.m. I think it was. Did someone try to help her? Did she run away and, you know, take her life? Have we even found her? Like, that was in 2013. That was nearly 10 years ago. Yet again, it's so freaky how someone can literally just disappear.
Many people suspect her boyfriend, Ashley Cottle, of foul play, but he has long proclaimed his innocence.
Okay, so that was the end of that first one. We don't know what happened. I'm assuming she was found in the end, or maybe she wasn't. It's just freaky, isn't it? It's like, what happened to her? You know, she literally ran out of a shopping store at 2 a.m. and she was on something on her own as well. It's freaky.
Emma Philippoff. Just a few days before her disappearance, young Emma Philippoff was captured on camera at a Victoria, British Columbia YMCA. Philippoff was behaving in an erratic manner, repeatedly entering and exiting the building.
She goes in and out the door 6 times within minutes.
A few days later, cameras captured her at a 7-Eleven buying a prepaid cell phone. Shortly before exiting the store, Philippoff stops and scans the street outside.
I'm not a professional, so I'm not claiming to be one. But a lot of times whenever they do stuff like that, it's because they're paranoid. They think someone's watching them. It could be mental health, it could be drug use, etc. I don't want to like claim that that's what she has because I don't know. But from what I can understand, a lot of times it's got to do with that. It's quite sad, isn't it? Because if she was struggling with her mental health, you know, she's paranoid, she thinks someone's following her.
Almost as if she's watching for someone. On the evening of November 28th, 2012, Philippoff disappeared from the Empress Hotel after speaking to the police. They had been called because Philippoff was walking around barefoot outside the hotel and was seemingly in distress.
And then she just disappeared after that. So obviously she was barefoot and in distress. It makes you think like what's actually going on. Am I the only one who low-key wish I had like a superpower where I could like rewind time and like watch a situation from like a different angle? You know how in Minecraft you can like look at yourself from a third perspective? I kind of want to do that with like situations like this. It's kind of like you rewind, it's like a TV program. Something was going on, like why was she doing that? Do they have answers?
Her car was later found full of her personal belongings, and she has remained missing ever since.
So she's remained missing ever since. We don't actually know what happened. That is freaky. That's like what actually freaks me out. It's the fact someone can just disappear like that. Like obviously somebody knows, maybe it was only her. You know, there's a possibility she could have harmed herself or someone else could have harmed her. But it's the fact that like you don't know what happened to them, but somebody could. I mean, someone knows what happened to Madeleine McCann. Someone knows what happened to JonBenét. You know, like all these people who go missing every single year, somebody knows and somebody isn't coming forward about it.
Sophia McKenna. You never know what you might be documenting on Snapchat. Sophia McKenna and Spencer Mugford were on the open water of Groton, Connecticut in the very early hours of May 27th, 2018.
Please don't tell me they were swimming in the lake in the early mornings. A few boys recently in Northern Ireland died because of this. They died in a lake, I think. It's really scary because people don't underestimate, you know, seas and pools. You might look at like, I don't know, like a swimming pool or not a swimming pool, a little lake, and you might think, oh, I'll be able to swim in there, it's fine, it's a lake. Nah, you can get sucked under the water so easily.
Their trip was documented on Snapchat, with one picture showing McKenna at a lighthouse and another showing Mugford in the sailboat. Said boat was later found abandoned on New York's Truman's Beach. Nearly 2 weeks later, police recovered Mugford's body in Long Island Sound. McKenna's mother came forward, claiming that 7 calls had been been made to her phone between 2:05 and 2:09 a.m.
Oh my god, that would be awful. Yeah, that would break me, because obviously you're getting called 7 times. Something is going on. Oh no, I hate that, and that's why I get really freaked out whenever like I get a missed call, because I'm like, why were they calling me? And usually if someone calls you more than 3 times within the space of like 30 minutes, something's up.
McKenna is still missing, and the Snapchat photos serve as the only document of her final hours.
It makes you think like what happened. Obviously he was fine, but the girl wasn't. Did something happen when they were out at the boat at night? You know, did they, you know, accidentally sing? I mean, the boat was found abandoned, but like what were they doing in the water? Oh, I hate it. It's freaky, isn't it? Like I hate recording these videos, and it's literally 10:30 at night, so I'm gonna scare myself.
Steven Kutcher. Shortly before his disappearance, Steven Kutcher had driven throughout the states of Utah and Nevada for a still unknown reason. Around noon on December 13th, 2009, Kutcher can be seen driving his car into a retirement community near Las Vegas.
Yet again, 2009. How many years ago was that? Like 13? It was so long ago, but it's crazy how people go missing all the time. There's been people who went missing in 1960. The thing about missing people, there's going to be people who are fine and are found. There's going to be people who are found, you know, not alive, and then there's going to be people who are never found. I can imagine having like a family member or loved one who disappeared, and like you never know what happened, you never get an answer.
A few minutes later, someone can be seen walking out in the opposite direction. Kutcher's family believes it's him. He never returned to his car.
So he never returned. Why? Where did he go? It really does make you think like what's going on in their head. I've watched so many programs like this, and obviously you see the people like walking away. Were they being followed? You know, was something going on? Were they okay? They could have been completely normal. He could have been going on about his day, you know, day to day, doing normal stuff. But maybe someone was watching him, you know. You have to be careful, keep an eye out for people.
Like his long car rides, no one knows why Kutcher was in Las Vegas, let alone that specific neighborhood. Later that day, his cell phone pinged a tower located about 10 miles northeast of the retirement community. Kutcher remains missing, and he left behind a ton of confusing clues that have only served to frustrate investigators and family.
Okay, so his cell phone was pinged 10 miles away. That's like quite a big distance. Was he picked up? Did he walk? I mean, I'm actually really tempted to get my parents and myself and all my friends literally get like a little tracker put in my tooth or like in my head, so it means we can track each other. I mean, if something ever does happen where we disappear, at least we'll be able to find like hopefully where we were last tracked or like pinged at.
Abigail Williams and Liberty German.
Oh my god, right, so we've seen this in a video before. Basically, these 2 girls were walking in a train track, and there was a man in the background. They caught on Snapchat. They've never found the man.
Sometimes missing people are found, but not in the way we were hoping. Young teens Abigail Williams and Liberty German went for a hike on the afternoon of February 13th, 2017. They failed to meet a scheduled pickup and were declared missing at 5:30 that evening.
And the thing is, they literally caught their possible murderer on camera. It's so freaky. Like, I always go for walks at night, and I'm actually going to stop doing it. I'm going to do it during the day. It's like, you don't know. You could literally have someone following you. Like, a man followed these 2 girls.
Tragically, their bodies were found the next day. German managed to capture some startling footage while on the hike. She took a picture of a Caucasian male walking towards the girls from the opposite direction. This man would quickly become the prime suspect.
Exactly, like they literally took a video of him. Like, why is he walking like that? So freaky. Who's that man? Like, what did he have going on in his head? Why was he following them? You know, everything happens for a reason, and we need to know who he is and why and what he was doing.
Furthermore, German had secretly recorded the man on her phone, who can be heard saying "down the hill." The implications of those words remain harrowing.
I remember the video bit, but I don't remember like the audio bit down the hill. I mean, that is where they were found. It makes you think, did he pull out like a weapon? Did he threaten them? You know, poor innocent girls were so young and so innocent, and a big man like that took their life.
A male figure appears to follow the girls, then orders them down the hill.
We literally have his voice and camera. It's so freaky. And yet again, that man's never been found. Who's that man? What was he doing? Was he responsible? I think he was. He's literally out there. He kept doing it again.
Dale Kerstetter. This man disappeared from his place of work on the night of September 12th, 1987. Kerstetter safely arrived for his night shift at Corning Glassworks, but when another employee arrived the next morning, all that was found was Kerstetter's abandoned belongings.
Okay, keep in mind, this is 1987. This is how many years ago? A long time ago. People disappear in 1987. They've never been found. It's creepy, it's freaky, and it needs to stop.
His truck was also parked in the parking lot, and about $200,000 worth of platinum rods were missing from the factory. Shortly after his disappearance, the factory's security cameras were checked. In the footage, a masked man can be seen talking with Kerstetter before escorting him away.
Okay, so we got a masked man on camera. Who's that man? How did he get in there? I mean, these factories are usually like protected. It's been caught on camera. Like, did they figure it out in the end?
His hand directly behind his back. Also discovered that this mysterious man had stolen the platinum rods from their kiln. It's still unclear what exactly happened to Kerstetter.
So freaky, isn't it? 1987, yet again, 1987. We don't know what happened to him. They never found the body. Like, we don't know. It's not been solved. I couldn't imagine that. Like, imagine dying without knowing what happened to, like, your loved one. Who was that man? Why was he stealing stuff? Was it like a robbery gone wrong? Yet again, this is why I don't leave my house.
Antoinette Cayedito. The mother of Antoinette Cayedito faced every parent's greatest fear. On the morning of April 6, 1986, she went to wake 9-year-old Antoinette only to find an empty bed.
Oh my god, nah, that is literally straight out of a horror film. It makes you think, like, what happened? Were they taken out of a window? Who took them? I mean, sometimes little babies, like young ones, are taken whenever they don't know anything and raised as like another child. But I think this girl's like a couple of years old, so it's like, you know, what happened? They can't really raise her as their own daughter, can they?
The police were immediately called, but nothing came of the investigation. The Gallup Police Department received a horrifying phone call 1 year after Cayedito disappeared.
Okay, so we're getting a phone call we're gonna listen to. I don't like these things. I hate listening to phone calls. Oh, I hate it.
The frantic caller claimed to be Cayedito, and this was confirmed by her mother, who claims to have recognized her daughter's voice.
Okay, so we've got like a phone call, so at least she was alive a year after. I swear, like within like the first 48 hours, there's like a 90% chance that their life is taken. Maybe it is a possibility she's being raised as like another child or like being held captive.
Before Cayedito could tell the police anything, an adult could be heard yelling in the background, and the call was prematurely cut amid the sounds of the girl screaming.
Hello? Antoinette, where are you? Antoinette? Hello?
Oh, that's so freaky, isn't it? Yet again, that was like back in the 1980s. What happened? That was like 40 years ago. That girl would be like close to 50 now, wouldn't she?
While the case technically remains open, experts believe that Cayedito is deceased.
I mean, yeah, that's like the sad thing, isn't it? It's like they don't know. The case is still open. Was she maybe kidnapped and raised as another child and then like they found out that wasn't gonna work? Oh, it's terrifying. Yet again, she was just a child.
Patricia Meehan. The day before she disappeared, Montana ranch hand Patricia Meehan phoned her father and sounded distressed, telling him that she wanted to come home to Pittsburgh.
Okay, so she's rang her father saying that she's, you know, a bit scared something's going on. That must be the worst call ever to receive as a parent. Your child is literally in another state and you get a call from them distress. Oh god, I hate it.
Her landlord also noticed that she was acting funny. On the night of April 20th, 1989, Meehan crashed her car on Montana Highway 200. Eyewitnesses reported that she behaved strangely. Meehan approached the driver of the other car without saying anything. She later moved to the side of the road and silently observed the wreck before wandering into a nearby field.
But like why? Like what was going on? Was she paranoid? It could be drugs, could be mental health, but obviously something was going on. I mean, if I was in that situation, like imagine you got into a car crash and like someone stared at you like that, what would you do? Would you get out of the car? I mean, I wouldn't. I'd be terrified. I'd call the police.
Meehan left behind an undeveloped camera, and one of the photos was a creepy selfie that showed an expressionless Meehan staring into a mirror. Multiple witnesses have reported seeing Meehan in the years following, but she officially remains missing.
So she still is missing, and that photo is quite creepy, isn't it? I mean, I don't want to look at this for too long because it's going to freak me out, but that looks scary. That looks like a manic episode. Like, look at them eyes. Yet again, mental health. Like, back in the day, it wasn't taken as serious as what it is now. People claim that they've seen her, but it's like, you know, whenever she ran into the field, where did she go? If she is still out there, will she ever, like, come forward? Anyways, that's where I'm going to leave the video there. That was a bit of a freaky one. I'm fascinated by videos like this because, you know, it makes you think, like, what actually happened. If you're new, hit that big red subscribe button. If you want to see me make more videos like this in the future, let me know, I definitely will. And yes, I'll see you all in my next video.